Anything that I say, no matter how crazy, Usha has to smile and laugh and celebrate.
My wife did not grow up Christian. I think it's fair to say that she grew up in a Hindu family, but not in a particularly religious family in either direction. Now, most Sundays, Usha will come with me to church. As I've told her, and I've said publicly, and I'll say now in front of 10,000 of my closest friends, do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that, because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way.
Oh my God, politics and gossip have officially collided in a full-blown explosion, and the spotlight is locked on Vice President JD Vance. The internet is on fire with explosive, completely unverified claims, suggesting a dramatic shakeup in his personal life, one that could seriously threaten his political future. It all traces back to that now infamous, overly intimate hug with Erika Kirk, which ignited a tidal wave of speculation. Now, rumors are flying that Vance may be preparing to leave his wife Usha, but it doesn't stop there. A so-called Washington insider has stepped forward, claiming that things behind the scenes between JD and Usha are already far from solid. Add fuel to the fire with that viral hug and JD's on-air comments that many interpreted as dismissive of his wife's religion, and suddenly people are sounding real alarms. Some are even questioning Usha's well-being amid the growing frenzy. So now everyone's asking the same thing. Are we watching the early stages of a very public divorce unfold in real time? Or is this just another case of a high-profile figure being chewed up by an out-of-control rumor mill?
Now everybody's talking about how JD Vance and Erika Kirk are getting a little too comfortable and that Usha's relationship might be in danger. But I'm mostly seeing people like, oh, Usha, leave your man, like that sort of stuff. I'm worried. And listen, I know she's not a good person. I obviously know that. But I'm worried, like woman to woman, that they're going to try to pull a Princess Diana on her. Like she's going to like die this tragic, mysterious death. But we're all going to know. We're all going to know that it was just for him to get to Erika. Like JD Vance has already said that Usha doesn't have the same like religious ideals as he does, and that man's a Christian nationalist. You know who else is a Christian nationalist? Erika Kirk. And what racist America really wants to see right now is two people of full Aryan blood together. They need their white prince and princess to come together and rule the kingdom as one. Because once Trump is gone, because we know he doesn't have much time left, once Trump is gone and JD Vance is going to be the one to be in power, you really think they want eyeliner guy who's been memed the out, who couches, who has an Indian wife? You think they're gonna want that? No, they're not gonna allow that. They're not gonna want that because we're talking about white supremacy here. Him being with Erika would save his image because she is like the princess right now. They are going to want two Christian nationalists. So Usha babe, you might need to run. You might need to flee the country. And I know that I sound like a conspiracy theorist, and I don't like to be a conspiracy theorist, but if I'm right about this, one person at least owes me $5.
Now hear me out, because what we're watching looks like a full-scale political and personal implosion unfolding in real time, and the man at the center of it all is Vice President JD Vance. Unless you've been completely unplugged, you've probably seen the rumors circulating about an alleged connection between Vance and Erika Kirk. The speculation ignited after photos surfaced of the two sharing what many described as an unusually warm embrace at a Turning Point USA event at the University of Mississippi. Before introducing the vice president, Erika gave an emotional tribute to her late husband, Charlie Kirk, saying no one could ever replace him, then adding that she sees certain similarities between Charlie and JD Vance. Moments later, they hugged on stage. That hug, brief as it was, detonated online. Critics called it intimate and inappropriate, pointing to Erika's hand tangled in Vance's hair as a gesture that crossed a public boundary. Almost instantly, social media erupted. Body language analysts weighed in, slow-motion clips spread everywhere, and the consensus from the internet jury was brutal. This wasn't just friendly, it felt emotionally charged. And just when that controversy was peaking, Vance poured gasoline on the fire. Days later, he made headlines again by openly expressing hope that his wife, Usha Vance, who was raised Hindumite one day, embraced Christianity. Vance, who converted to Catholicism in 2019, explained that he and Usha met in college when both were atheists or agnostic, that they're raising their 3 children Catholic, and that Usha often attends Mass with the family. He said he hoped she would eventually be moved by the same faith that transformed him, but instead of sounding personal or reflective, the comments landed like a thunderclap. Critics accused him of disrespecting his wife's beliefs and publicly diminishing her background. Many argued that he could have easily answered the question with grace by emphasizing mutual respect with her than airing such a sensitive issue on a public stage. To a growing number of observers, the timing felt ominous. The intimate hug with Erika Kirk followed immediately by remarks that seemed to sideline his wife, fueled a narrative that something deeper was wrong. Memes predicting an imminent divorce flooded social media, portraying a vice president emotionally drifting while his marriage quietly unraveled. Then came the moment that truly sent the internet into overdrive. New York Times columnist Shannon Watts posted on X, "Vance announces divorce. Marries Charlie Kirk's widow by the end of 2026. Within hours, the tweet exploded nearly 10 million views, thousands of comments, and a digital firestorm that blurred the line between prediction, provocation, and rumor. Some users pointed to the onstage chemistry as proof. Others slammed the post as reckless speculation masquerading as commentary. Either way, the narrative had escaped containment. Facing mounting pressure, JD Vance finally responded. In a carefully worded statement, he called Usha the greatest blessing of my life, reaffirmed their commitment to each other and their family, and denied any marital strain. He framed his faith comments as expressions of personal belief, not dissatisfaction, and dismissed the infamous hug as nothing more than a warm, platonic moment that had been wildly distorted by online sensationalism. But by then, the damage was already done. The story had evolved beyond facts into a symbol of how quickly personal moments can metastasize into political crises. Whether this saga fades or continues to escalate remains to be seen. But for now, JD Vance's private life has become public spectacle, and every move he makes is being watched under a microscope.
This message is for Usha Vance. Usha, call JD back home. Call him up. Be like, hey, Vivek needs to be tucked in. Get your ass back in the house. Erika Kirk's hands don't need to be all up in his hair. Get your tiny little man back.
But this is where the story takes an even stranger turn. Former White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki has now poured fuel on the fire with comments that are completely unverified but impossible to ignore. While appearing on an episode of the I've Had It podcast, Sake openly speculated that Vice President JD Vance and his wife Usha could be dealing with serious marital problems, even floating the idea that a divorce might be looming, all without presenting any evidence. She went further, making a remark that instantly set social media buzzing. "I always wonder what's going on in the mind of his wife. Like, are you okay? Please blink 4 times. Come over here. We'll save you." The comment was blunt, provocative, and immediately controversial, and it's only intensified the already raging conversation around Vance's personal life.
Before JD Vance makes his run for president, he will be married to Erika Kirk, and he's going to do this by using Paulina privilege. He is going to either push or somehow convince Usha Vance to file for divorce, and he'll use that to take it to the church to get an annulment, because neither of them were baptized at the time of their marriage, and he will say that he tried to convert her and that it was just too hostile at home. Then his only marriage in the eyes of God will be towards Erika Kirk.
Just when it seemed like this situation couldn't get any more chaotic, it somehow did. Former White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki added fuel to the fire during an episode of the I've Had It podcast, where she made unverified remarks about Vice President JD Vance's marriage. Without presenting any evidence, Psaki speculated that JD and his wife Usha could be dealing with serious marital strain, even floating the possibility of a future divorce. She went so far as to say, "I always wonder what's going on in the mind of his wife. Like, are you okay? Please blink 4 times." The comment instantly went viral, with critics calling it reckless and supporters calling it brutally honest, and if anyone thought the couple's Halloween appearance would calm things down, it did the exact opposite. JD Vance leaned fully into internet culture by dressing up as a meme of himself, yes, literally himself. The costume was clearly meant to show he could laugh at the criticism, but the internet wasn't impressed. He quickly landed on several worst Halloween costume lists for 2025. What really caught people's attention, though, was Usha, while JD was in costume. She appeared in what looked like everyday attire, prompting even more speculation online. Comment sections exploded with people reading into it, joking that she looked over it and projecting their own theories onto the moment. Add that to past rumors about visible tension at public events, and social media ran wild with assumptions as the gossip spiraled. Some corners of the internet took things far too far, turning speculation into disturbing fan theories and exaggerated narratives that crossed ethical lines. It's important to say clearly, there is no evidence supporting those extreme claims. What we're seeing is how quickly online discourse can escalate when politics, celebrity, and grief collide. Meanwhile, Erika Kirk largely stayed silent until recently. In a Fox News interview at Turning Point USA headquarters, she finally addressed the intense scrutiny she's been under since her husband's tragic death. She spoke openly about how cameras have followed her every move, saying her expressions, emotions, and actions have all been dissected online. She emphasized transparency, stating that she has nothing to hide and believes the public should see the truth for themselves. What many people seem to forget is that just days after her husband's death, Erika was seen publicly supported by both JD and Usha Vance. The couple personally accompanied her during a deeply emotional moment, and she was even photographed holding Usha's hand. Context like that often gets lost once a single clip or image goes viral. At the end of the day, what may have been a brief emotional moment of support has been transformed into a massive online narrative. Some see scandal, others see grief, and many see clickbait. That's the reality of living in the age of viral footage where a few seconds can define months of discourse. As of now, JD and Usha Vance remain together, focused on their family and navigating public life under a microscope. Whether this story fades or continues to evolve, it's a powerful reminder of how quickly perception can eclipse reality in the social media era. So what do you think? Overblown internet drama? Or a moment that genuinely changed the public narrative? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to check out our other videos to stay caught up on all the latest TIT. Until next time, bye!